This video is going to be a quickie SPSS tutorial for absolute beginners. All right, what you're looking at is the data page down here. Data page. Look at that tab. This is like the Excel spreadsheet. It has the numbers, so the values of whatever you're putting in here, this is where they go. Just remember, it works like an Excel spreadsheet. You can put text in there, but in this video, we're just going to basically stick to numbers. So that's the data view. That's pretty basic. And SPSS version 29 came out with this overview thing. I don't use it a lot. But I'm old. I kind of do what I want. So you could look at it if you want. It puts up information up there that I already know because I built the page. But here's the hard one: is the variable view. In the variable view page, you have to describe the variable. Right? The first column is the name of the variable. There are lots of naming regulations in SPSS. The big one is no spaces in the variable names. No weird exclamation points, no hyphens. You cannot start a variable name off with a number. It'll tell you if you get it wrong, okay? So, but it does take underscores. Keep that in mind. Okay, second column is the type. We're basically using numeric numbers. That means, numbers that have either a scale value or a grouping value. We'll go over that here in a second. But they can be changed. Like if you want somebody to type something in, like, what state where you were born, or, what's your favorite rock band, you could change these to be string. A string means text. So if especially on Qualtrics, if you're downloading data from Qualtrics and SPSS, if you allowed the survey taker to type in anything, right? If you had a little blank box where they typed in anything, it's automatically going to turn it into a string variable where you have to go back and change it back to a numerical variable. That's not a big deal. Okay. Width, that is the width of these columns, not a big deal. Decimals, so decimals is how many place values do you want your data to be? And we'll look at ours, and you'll notice they're all zeros. And I hate to see wasted zeros. That's a math joke, but I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change them all to 0. Get in there. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Sorry. All right, so they're all to 0, and let's see what they look like. Shkabam, right? All those extra zeros are gone. Now, these are centered to the right, justified to the right. I like them centered. So I would go to the alignment column here, right? See that? And I would make them all centered. Centered. Get in there. Centered, center. Center, center, center. Now, if you got like a dozen of these, what you can do is you can highlight, copy, and then highlight the ones you want to change and hit paste. Okay, so that's a big shortcut. All right, label. The label column has no rules. You can put whatever you want here, and whatever's in this label box will show up in the output. I'll say that again. Whatever's in the label box shows up in the output page of SPSS. Now, over here to the measures, this column tells the computer what kind of variable you're working with, right? There's 3 options: scale, also continuous, or ratio. That's the one where a number measures, how much money you got in your pocket or your shoe size or something like that. Ordinal is a rank order. The Likert scales are all ordinal. And a nominal is the same as categorical or a grouping variable. Now, if it is nominal, right, you should go back to the values column, that's this one, and tell the people what the numbers mean, right? So let's look at the first one. If we look at our data set for therapy type, all we got are 1s and 2s and 3s. We don't know anything about that. What does a 3 mean? What does a 2 mean? We don't know. So that's where you set that here in the values column. And you basically type the number value and what do you want it to represent. And you could add as many as you want. You just keep clicking that plus sign. And that one's the same, that one's the same. So you look at depression here. Depression is a scale number. In other words, the higher the number, the higher the depression. But it doesn't have a value because it's not a categorical variable, right? It's not a nominal variable. Okay, so, all right, the missing values column. In the old days, we would type in like a 99 or 999 or for missing value, and the software would not use that row of data in any of its calculations. But SPSS has changed a lot. I don't use that. I haven't used that in years. I don't know of anybody that does still use that, because the software knows what to do with missing data, right? It'll tell you, right? You got this many people missing. So, and then you have the choice. You can go back and not use that data. There are other ways. If somebody's missing one cell out of a whole row, you really don't want to delete the whole guy, the whole row. So there's other tricks to that. Okay, so, and then the columns thing, that limits the number of characters that will show up on the label, I believe. But again, I just leave it at 8. It's not a problem. And this roll thing, I'm not sure what it means. I believe it's for they have a new component to SPSS. It's called the SPSS Modeler, and I've never used it, and I'm not going to use it, so I'm not sure what this stuff means, but it looks cool. But that's about it. And then let's run one real quick. I'm just going to run. Let's just run general linear model univariate. So I want to see if there's a significant difference in depression. That's the DV. Between the 3 different types of therapy. And I always click these. Just do it automatically here. Boom, 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 boom. And then I'll show you the output. This is the output. Okay, this is a .spv file. Let's say that again. The output is .spv, and the input, this one, is a .sav file. Got it? Those are the two differences between the two different files. There are other ones. There's a syntax file. There's all kinds of stuff. But again, this is just a basic video. All right, that's enough. I hope this helps. MJZ out.